Because every athlete deserves to be treated like a pro. Henry Ford Sports Medicine.
At Michigan First Mortgage, we believe a home is more than just four walls. It's endless possibilities, where relationships are strengthened and next steps are taken. It's a place to call your very own, where you can create new traditions and welcome family with open arms. And at Michigan First, it's at the heart of everything we do. Let us help you discover the possibilities of home.
From our very first breath, curiosity is why we question everything through barrages of whys and how comes. It now needs the tools to will its vision into existence. Tools that will forever allow curiosity to obscure the line between technology and magic. Be curious. Make magic. Lawrence Technological University.
Chevy Silverado has what it takes to do it all. With a TurboMax engine and a 13.4-inch diagonal touchscreen. Any truck can help you make a living. This one helps you build a life. Chevy Silverado.
Or GM employees with a current eligible lease can get this Silverado for $299 a month. Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com.
Rochester enters today's match with an overall record of 7 wins, 1 loss, and 0 ties. Here is their starting 11. In goal, 0, Naomi Tartaro. Starting at defense, number 4, Isabella Ames. Starting in midfield, number 7, Kennedy Frazier. Starting at defense, number 8, Alyssa Romack. Starting at defense, number 11, Addison McCullough. Starting at forward, number 17, Sammy Springer. Starting at forward, number 18, Olivia Howes. Starting at midfield, number 19, Kayla Joyce. Starting at midfield, number 22, Jenna Sadowski. Starting at midfield, number 30, Samantha Johns. And lastly, starting at midfield, number 33, Faith Staley. The Warriors are coached by skipper Bucktar. Lawrence Tech comes into tonight's contest with a record of 4 wins, 1 loss, and 2 ties. Here is their starting lineup. Junior defenseman, number 3, Jaden Conrad. Sophomore midfielder, number 4, Bridget Finner. Fifth-year senior defenseman, number 5, Courtney Matheson. Junior forward, number 9, Malia May. Sophomore midfielder, number 13, Abigail Gray. Junior midfielder, number 14, Michaela Warrenakis. Senior forward, number 15, Jenny Beer. Fifth-year senior midfielder, number 17, Dalia DeRosa. Fifth-year senior forward, number 23, Deanna Hill. Freshman defense, number 26, Hannah Padgett. Starting in goal is the sophomore, number 30, Gabby Nelson. The Blue Devils are coached by Andy Richards in his 8th season. He is assisted by Doug Steiner and Trevor Foster. Graduate assistant Emil Alak. At this time, we ask that you please rise for the playing of the national anthem.
gave Robert your coat? You're not even wearing it.
Oh my god.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna suffer over there.
Right.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Blue Devil Stadium for tonight's WAC Conference matchup for women's soccer. We have two teams that are both in an impressive win streak through the first week of WAC Conference play. It's the Lawrence Tech Blue Devils, who have won 4 out of 5 games with 5 consecutive shutouts. They're taking on the Warriors of Rochester University, coming in with a 6-game winning streak. I am Jan Booker. Great to have you here with us here on the call for you this one. I am joined alongside John Snow. And John Snow, of course, both of these teams have some very impressive records so far, but of course, both of these teams are 1-0 in conference play.
Absolutely. Rochester, they knocked off Cleary 1-0, and Lawrence Tech, they knocked off Indiana Tech by a final of 3-0. So two shutouts, one shutout apiece for both teams to start conference play. That's a lot of fire. And Rochester, they're off to their best conference start in a lot of seasons out of their program, coming in with a 7-1 record overall, and they've won 6 straight. They're looking for number 7. On the flip side, for Lawrence Tech, their shutouts continue. They have 5 straight shutouts, all courtesy of their defense and all courtesy to their sophomore goalkeeper, Gabby Nelson, who has secured over 300 minutes worth of shutout goalkeeping. And for the team, since their last goal given up, they have surpassed the 400 marker in minutes played. So this could be a very high competitive contest, but especially now with the rain coming down, it is definitely pouring on the field. That could make things a little bit slick, but this should be a good contest.
Yes, indeed. It is going to be an interesting game no matter what happens there. So turn on the world and have some fun as we get ready for 90 minutes of soccer here tonight as the Blue Devils and the Warriors gets underway here at Blue Devil Stadium. Of course, the Blue Devils are in white and the Rochester Warriors are all in red. Great to have you here with us here on the LTU Sports Network. And we'll get our first stoppage of play, and we'll get a first free kick throw-in opportunity. And here comes Bridget Fitterin. Get things going here, and it let it go by Hannah Paget, one of the newcomers for this LTU women's soccer squad.
Yeah, Paget, she's definitely a playmaker, especially on the defensive side. She knows how to take good control of the ball, especially with her dribbling. She knows how to make good, decent passes within the middle of the field to find the open player.
And Jaden Conrad will have the ball going there for Lawrence Tech on their own end, and they'll clear it out. It'll be a Rochester throw-in. And we'll take a look at the Rochester Warriors. Of course, as we see some of the key players returning there from last year, and we also see some new freshman players, including goalkeeper Nomi Dartrou.
Yeah, Dartrou coming in from France, their freshman goalkeeper. It's really a risky move, but definitely a high-stake move as we get an opening right here.
There's a breakaway, and here comes Malia May. And the flag goes up, but what a defensive coverage by the Warriors.
Yeah, Malia May, she's the real threat. She had 2 goals in that game against Indiana Tech, 1 to finish off the first half and 1 to begin early on in the second half. She now leads the team in goals with 5 total. And this is her 2nd straight game that she's in that starting lineup. And Coach Andy Richards has been able to move around the starting lineup so many times because he has so much more depth with this roster this year.
And of course, Malia May scored in 3 of the last 5 games for the Blue Devils. Warriors getting things going here in the early going. And a real battle on the way, and here comes Jenny Deere, player down for the Blue Devils at the moment. As Springer able to clear it out.
That's never what you want to see. Probably good to announce that Lawrence Tech, they have lost one of their captains in Jessica Koji. She went down in the game against Alma about 2 weeks ago. And no contact on the play. It was a knee injury. And talking to Coach Andy Richards, he said it's up to her at this point as to whether or not she wants to try to make a comeback for this year or try to fully recover. And there was a few more players down in the last contest, but this is definitely not a good sign for Lawrence Tech early on.
Of course, Jessica Koji started against Alma College back on the 15th, only 27 minutes.
That's Deanna Hill who went down, and that would be she's up underneath her own power, but again, that's another huge loss because Deanna Hill coming back for a 5th year. She is their ultimate playmaker at the forward spot.
And of course, you do not want to lose Deanna Hill, especially early in this game. And so Warriors.
Lawrence Tech is going to play with a man down for right now and up until they make a decision whether or not they want to make a substitute.
Jarosek. Sell it down, gives over to Gabby Nelson, making every start this season for the Blue Devils. Headed up by Warnakis. And ball pinballs it around. And now the Blue Devils can go on the run. And Malia May was way too far out. It'll be a throw in here for the Rochester Warriors. So impressive start for the Rochester Warriors. They're 7-1 on the year. But like you said, of course, both of these teams 1-0 in conference play.
No, definitely, and especially beating out some of their top teams, especially in close finishes. Even though that it was a 3-0 win for Lawrence Tech, it's never easy when you face any program out of Indiana Tech. And for a 1-0 finish on the opposite side for Rochester against Cleary, and it was a late goal in the second half with a man advantage.
Here's Malia May, and she runs out of real estate. That was coming from the pass of Jenny Deere, who is making her 7th appearance for the Blue Devils.
And one thing I've definitely seen out of all the games this year is that Andy Richards is not afraid to go to his bench early in games, especially at the 20-minute marker.
And Dartru will collect that one for the Blue Devils from Herblay Fronts, the freshman goalkeeper, making her first-year presence felt there for the Warriors. And now Warriors gets on the attack along the way. Serves into the box, and Gabby Nelson will make her first grab of the night. If you just joined us here, we are about 5 minutes into the first half. No score between the Blue Devils and the Warriors. Great to have you here with us here on the LTU Sports Network. And a great diagonal ball, but Dartru will let that one go.
As you see, they did make a substitution for Deanna Hill. Kathleen Ferguson is into the contest. Ferguson, another acquiree, a transfer junior from Schoolcraft College, has definitely made some great appearances and has had some great gameplay.
Of course, 3 goals and 2 assists on the year, totaling 8 points for the Blue Devils. What an impressive start here for Kathleen Ferguson, the junior. Ball given away. Here comes Johns. Goes off of Deanna Hill, but the Warriors will get it on the attack. Good tackle away. And a good 50-50 ball along the way.
Deanna Hill is still along the sidelines right there. That's still a good sign, but definitely I think Andy Richards is willing to be patient a bit in order to let Deanna Hill fully recover from that fall that she took.
And the ball will go out of play for a throw-in on the Warriors, I believe. Yep. It'll be covered up there by Addison McCule. Settle it down. Here comes Joyce. Nobody in red to collect it there, so Warren Atkins will pick it up there for the Blue Devils. And now we got a foot race ahead. And Tartru will boot it out towards the midfield.
It was a good look, just a little bit too far out ahead.
Deere will settle it down for the Blue Devils. Get things going, and here comes Ferguson. On the far side it comes. Ferguson, 2 in the box now for the Blue Devils. Lays it off for Jenny Deere. Now Warnakis gets it out to Malia May. Inside the penalty area, sends it across. And Tartru with the coverage.
That's a good conservative shot right there by Malia May, trying to send it back into the box. In that last game against Indiana Tech, when they went to that far corner deep within the box, they were trying to go for the goal shot rather than try to send it off and hope for another player nearby to try to put it in. So that was good heads-up awareness by Malia May, trying to give her team a chance.
Jenny Deal will settle it down. And the Blue Devils get things going there. Impressive start there on the attack in the early going. Headed out by Warnakis. 50-50 ball ahead, and now that's cleared. And now Nelson will settle it down for the Blue Devils. Got a .45 goals against average coming into tonight. What an impressive record there for goal against average for any goalkeepers.
No, definitely. Only 2 goals allowed this year, and Nelson's not the only one. Sydney Schoenstein has also got some playing time. She's only allowed 2 goals total. Basically 4 goals total between all these goalkeepers, and that's basically the fewest amount that they have allowed thus far in the season to begin going into conference play. Another program record. They've set 3 brand new records.
Wow, incredible stuff. And a service there is blocked ahead, and now the Blue Devils will go on the attack. On the run is Ferguson. Can she get to the ball? She's covered up by Kennedy Frazier, and we will get our first, or I should say, goal kick coming up here. I thought it was going to be our first corner kick of the game, but instead it was last touch off of Kathleen Ferguson.
No, that was just good defensive work put up by Kennedy Frazier. Able just to block out Ferguson, trying to keep the ball in play and trying to let that one roll out of bounds. But definitely, it's gonna be slick, because as the rain comes down, here's a few factors. Number one, the ball is gonna be slippery. It's gonna be traveling along the turf a lot faster. So on these throw-ins, they gotta make sure you have a good grip in order to get a good, solid, and straight up pass. And for the goalkeepers, they gotta keep those gloves dry, because and if anything, if they don't have a good grip, they gotta put their hands together in order to knock the ball down in front, and they're already trying to make a catch.
Trying to serve it up ahead. Jenny Deal will pick it up there. And now here comes an opportunity for Abigail Gray. And Tartru covers up. Impressive start there for the Blue Devils with the last shot by Abigail Gray, who is making her 7th appearance so far this season. Her 6th start coming into tonight, 318 minutes and now counting.
No, definitely. Abigail Gray is that playmaker as we get a foul here. But as I just mentioned, that save right there by Tartru, it was a little bump pass to herself because she didn't know she couldn't get a good grip around it, so she hit it up intentionally for her to be able to corral it on the way down. And Abigail Gray, very smart to try to go high with the shot.
Jenna Shardowski will take the free kick for the Warriors. Just nearly 10 minutes in, service ahead. And Gabby Nelson will cover it up. How impressive so far is Gabby Nelson here this season.
Oh, very, very impressive. And I talked to Coach Andy Richards about Gabby Nelson, and he said it's just maturity, just growing into the process, getting her freshman year underneath her belt, learning about her technique, getting used to the system as a college athlete, adjusting and organizing, and just taking time outside of practice, outside of the games, just to work on her craft. And that has basically been the big difference. It's just growth.
Service up ahead, and nobody there in red to have that opportunity. So it'll roll out of bounds, and it'll be a goal kick for Gabby Nelson.
This is going to be the first time that both these teams have really felt any kind of weather pressure, because the rain's coming down pretty hard. So again, everybody has to have good traction, make sure nobody is cramping, and make sure everybody's light on their feet, but also got good deep traction within the turf, because everything is now going to be extra slick.
Yeah, of course, rain is definitely going to be playing a factor tonight here as we get things rolled on here. And it'll be the Blue Devils' ball. Malia May will get it over.
Deanna Hill is coming back in, so that's a good sign.
And Kathleen Ferguson will head it out. So impressive start there for Kathleen Ferguson, the transfer junior. As Deanna Hill will come back into the fray. The Ann Arbor native. Jenny Deere will settle it down, but that's taken away. And now the Warriors will get things going. And nicely done by Dyla Jarosek to let that one go. And it'll be a throw in here for the Blue Devils just nearly 12 and a half minutes in. Or 11 and a half minutes in, I should say. And that ball went out of bounds off of Sammy Springer. Throw in for the Blue Devils.
Now, another thing to factor in with the rain is that with your dribbling, the ball is going to probably travel a lot further ahead of you depending on how hard you hit it because you had the extra slick of the rain to the turf. So everybody's got to be very cautious if they're going to bring the ball up with the dribble.
McCule. And it goes out of bounds for a Blue Devils throw. So you see a lot of possession there so far for the Blue Devils there in the early going. Of course, Rochester had some good looks trying to find some ways to get things going there along the way when they have possession of the ball, but instead, it's still early going there.
No, still early in the game, still plenty of time left to make a play overall on either side because Lawrence Tech, they held Indiana Tech to no shots on goal. That's impressive enough. They've been able to help out Gabby Nelson that entire game. Everything wasn't as clean and crisp as they wanted it to. And Annie Richards mentioned this, the fact that they had to play the defense. They had to bail out Gabby Nelson. And the fact that they did so, and not allowing the Warriors to get a shot on goal last time with Indiana Tech.
Finneran off of a giveaway, and it's cleared out by Jaden Conrad. And the Warriors will have possession of the ball towards their final third. Instead, nobody home. Conrad will pick it up for the Blue Devils. Winner of the ball, and it'll be Blue Devils throw here.
Now we see let's see how efficient LTU can be.
Kicked away, and it goes way wide of the frame.
That was the best case scenario. Sorry to cut you off. That was the best case scenario because that's a deep throw in, and you got Rochester players galore around that it can easily take that ball away or put a quick shot on goal on any given opportunity. So the fact that that ball was kicked out of bounds, that gives Nelson a chance to try and pin it deep to help out our offense.
So Gabby Nelson off of the goal kick. Not a bad one to get things going there, but the Blue Devils trying to hope to get some answers there, and that's cleared away.
And that sets up this opportunity. The goal kick went off of two players, and it's already this far down the field.
Warnakis. And now Blue Devils will get things going now with Deanna Hill. Hill finds Finneran. Cut off by the defense of the Warriors. And that's cleared away. And it'll be going out for a throw-in for the Blue Devils as we're getting close to the 30-minute mark of the first half. Finneran, nice 1-2 touch. Trying to get to Malia May. Of course, the rain is raining down hard here tonight here at Blue Devil Stadium. Conrad, that's intercepted. And now the Warriors will try and get things going there, but nicely done. Looks like Jaden Conrad able to keep that one in play. And the Warriors will do the honors to take the throw in here. It is rained down hard here at Blue Devil Stadium.
You can hear the raindrops bouncing off the metal bleachers here at the stadium, but that's not stopping play. You can see through the lights.
Uh-oh, this could be an opportunity. But nicely done by Tarshu to keep it out. And goes out of play. You wonder how long the rain will make things a delay here, but you never know what to expect.
Well, technically within the rules, speaking of delays, usually with the weather, the rain is not going to stop play. If there's happen to be thunder or lightning within the area or seen or heard, that's usually what gives it the delay, usually about 30 minutes or so.
Here comes Finneran. Trying to intend a pass for Deanna Hill, but that's cleared out, and now the Warriors will get things going. And that's intercepted. Warnaka's getting pulled off the tug of the shirt, but instead we'll get a foul.
Yeah, Warnock, it looked like she got tugged from behind by the jersey, and the foul was actually called on Rochester.
Yeah.
So it was a good one-on-one battle for possession right there. And Lawrence Tech, give them all the credit. The last couple of weeks, they have won that 1v1 battles, especially for possession on loose balls.
Of course, those Blue Devils are definitely doing well when it comes to 1v1 battles. Rochester trying to get things going ahead, but it goes out for a throw in here for the Blue Devils. Under 28 minutes to go here. No score between these two teams. The Warriors and the Blue Devils is just joining us. Johan Volker alongside John Snow here with you on the call for the second game of WAC conference play for college soccer. And now here comes an opportunity for Rochester. Sends it across. It goes off of Conrad for the first corner of the game.
No, it's just a good block by Conrad. They made 3 blocks within the goal box in their last game against Indiana Tech. So that helped out Gabby Nelson from having her force her to make a play, and that sets up a corner.
So Addison McCule, 8 games so far this season. This is her 9th coming into tonight. And she'll set up the first corner kick of the game coming from Clawson, Michigan. Service ahead. And Nelson, right out of nowhere, able to make the grab.
That's just Gabby Nelson at her best. She's done really efficient on these corners. She's able to read the ball off the foot, and she's able to weave herself through the crowd and able to make a sliding stop like that.
Impressive start there, but now the Blue Devils can go on the run. And Abigail Gray looks like she was trying to get things going there, but instead it goes to Addison McCule. Covered up by Isabella Ames. And the Blue Devils will settle it down with Bridget Finneran. Here comes Jenny Deere, a goal and an assist so far this year. Blue Devils hoping to get things going on the way. Trying to keep this going. Service into the box. Trying to find Abigail Gray, but nobody was there. And it will roll out of bounds. And it will roll out of bounds.
Throwing for Rochester. It was a good look.
Yes.
Just the one thing was the pass was behind Gray, and Gray was not able to get a foot. And then once that got past Gray, Deanna Hill didn't have a chance with it. Blue Devils have had their good looks. They've just been not able to execute.
They had some good chances along the way there, Lawrence Tech. They definitely trying to find some ways to get things going, trying to serve some balls into the area as well.
No, they have one shot on goal. That's the only lone shot on goal they've taken today, and that was by Abigail Gray. It was a good shot on goal, trying to test the grip of the goalkeeper, Tar True.
And now the Rochester Warriors let that one go. It'll be a throw-in for the Warriors here with about 25 minutes to go. Here in this first half of play, still no score between Lawrence Tech and Rochester. This is their second game of WAC conference play. Jenny Deere will boot it ahead. And nobody there in red to collect it up, so Gabby Nelson will comfortably pick it up.
Yeah, that little dump in, it's basically dump it in and hope for something to happen. Indiana Tech did that a lot in the last game. And it works most of the time if you have your communication ahead with your teammates. But that time it was just too far ahead for any Warriors to make a play on it.
And we'll clear it out. And now the Blue Devils will go. Get things forward there, but instead, Nomi Tartru will pick it up. Nomi Tartru coming into this game, making her 8th appearance. This is her 6th start, totaling 474 minutes coming into tonight. She was a goalkeeper of Jane D'Arc, and she has 3 clean sheets so far this season.
No, it's been an impressive freshman year for Tartru, and again, she's put up to the task once more as we get into conference play.
The foot race, it's a battle along the far side, and it'll be a goal kick at the end.
No, good defensive stop put up. That was Isabel Ames. Isabel Ames that was one-on-one with Deanna Hill. And that's just what you got to do. You got to really stick your body in front, not really work with the legs to try to prevent any cut-throughs, to try to keep the ball in play, and just give your goalkeeper the chance.
Of course, Isabella Ames making her 9th straight start this season. Last year, she started all 17 of them. She scored 3 goals and 2 assists, totaling 8 points. And even though she is a defender for the most part, she can score sometimes, no doubt about it.
Yeah, because in the defense spot, you're also known as your outside shooters as well, in case anything needs to be a last resort, especially with a corner pile up, and then the ball is able to be scored free. But your defensemen come up and they try to put it back towards the net.
A real good battle along the way, and we'll get a foul on Rochester. So free kick coming up here for the Blue Devils in their own final third.
We'll see here about the 20-minute marker. This is usually where Andy Richards makes a decision whether or not he goes to his bench. And he said he usually makes that before the game.
Counterattack here. Here comes the chance for Deanna Hill. And Tartru able to collect that one nicely.
That's just a do-or-die play right there. Always dangerous, but yet most of the time it goes to the goalkeeper if you get the good grip, the good stop right in front. That was just a nice sliding stop by Tartru.
So we're a little over halfway through this first half of play. No score, but Blue Devils have got some chances along the way. Of course, Rochester is doing everything they can to get things going there.
Only one shot on goal, and that's a lone shot. Both these teams, they've had their open chances, but they've just not been able to crash anytime soon inside the box. And this might be just that battle for possession for most of this game. And if not, one team will probably take over, take command. It's just who can outplay each other and who has the most efficient ball handling, especially in wet conditions.
Alex Joseph will take the throw in here. An incredible story that we're going to share with you later on through this broadcast as it's cleared out by McCule. Jovosek will head it down, and here comes Springer. Springer will get things going here for the Blue Devils. Serve it up ahead, headed out by Conrad. And it goes last touch off of Blue Devil, and it'll be a throw in here for the Warriors here with under 21 minutes to go.
So far, no substitutes lined up, but they are getting some players warm on that sideline for Lawrence Tech.
Yeah, of course, you can see some of the players there. Hopefully Andy Richards can use his bench.
Well, because you have more depth, because you have more reliable players that learn the system so quick and are so efficient with their feet, you're able to swap out in and out your starters and your bench players, have a different starting lineup every time.
Uh-oh, here comes an opportunity. Abigail Gray. Tartru wins the battle.
Another open spot like that. Again, another great look, and it's just Tartru who wins it at the end.
Abigail Gray was definitely trying to have a good goal-scoring chance along the way.
That's her second good chance. She has the one shot on goal, and it was a good save made. And that time was just her open chance, and it was just a foot race, do or die, and just Tartrum with another great stop.
Here comes Gray on the ball, gives it over to Bridget Finneran. And nobody home in white to collect it there, but the Blue Devils hopefully to maintain possession. It's headed out by Olivia House. And now Blue Devils go on the attack. Trying to get things going. Malia May, can she get to this ball? No, she cannot. But it'll be a throw-in for the Warriors there. Good effort by Malia May, the Ann Arbor native.
Andy Richards, he does have 2 subs lined up, so I'm pretty sure he's made his decision as to who he wants to put out there to try to help the cause to get a quick score in, or at least put more shots on the net.
Correction of mine for Malia May, of course, Ajax Canada native.
Still, you got many weapons in your midfielders and also your forwards if you're Lawrence Tech. You still got so many shooting ability options. With Abigail Gray, you've got Deanna Hill, and you also got Malia May. They can shoot from any time and any place.
They'll throw in here for the Warriors. Serve it up ahead, and it's cleared out by Courtney Matheson. And hopefully we could use some subs along the way.
He's got to strategize this. He's got to send one at a time. It's all about timing and scheming, and especially, and also the fact of who he wants to bring out. And it's always by pace of play, who's giving it their hardest, who's kind of slacking a bit, and then they'll have a talk with him. As we see it, quick sub in, and I believe it's going to be Kathleen Ferguson back in. She'll replace Malia May.
And of course, we got one sub for Rochester, Maya Friedman, replacing Jenna Shadowski. Maya Friedman, of course, got a hat trick at Alma College in a 7-3 win last week. Last season, played 9 games for the Warriors, but she got 2 shots against Cleary.
And that's a good momentum changer right there, because Alma College, that's a D3 program in NCAA.
And here comes an opportunity, and Tartru able to get a piece of it. That was a good look along the way for the Blue Devils.
And it was all because of the pressure by Ferguson. It was, again, another do-or-die play by Tartru. But that time she was not able to corral it on the slide. It went off her body, and because of the slick rain, it forced it out of bounds on a quick speed.
And Michaela Warnakis will come off.
And it's Hinana Takashima, another great addition.
From Bellevue, Washington. Midfielder freshman. Served it in by Jarosek. And it'll go out of play.
I feel like Jarosek kind of rushed that a bit because the way it was moving, it was like off the side of the foot and was curling towards the right, and nobody was crashing into the box yet, so she kind of rushed it a bit.
So Hinana Takashima, number 41 freshman, the height of her, and I don't want to make fun of it, but the height is 4'11". Can you imagine that? When you are 4'11", you are doing great big things along the way there.
Well, soccer is not usually a height-meant sport like basketball, so we see another possible opportunity for Lawrence Tech. And that one's going to be rolling out of bounds. But again, this is not a height-driven sport. And she probably even has an advantage because she's right to the ball. She's probably a bit quicker on her feet, and she probably has better control because the ball is right there in front of her. And basically, and it's another just saying, height is not a factor when it comes to these athletics.
So, of course, Maya Freeland coming over for Rochester. As you can see, Abigail Gray getting things worked ahead. Or make that Kathleen Ferguson along the corner. And it'll still be the Blue Devils' possession. They'll have the opportunity off of a throw-in. Here comes Takashima. And here comes Finneran. Finds Jenny Deere. Gets over to Javosek. Javosek going for goal, and it goes right into the hands of Tartru. Good effort by Isla Javosek.
That was a better shot taken, and she was able to get around it just a bit. The ball might have been going out of bounds regardless of the save or not, but still, it was a good shot, and it's just one to take at any given open window.
Yeah, you're right. It was definitely going out of bounds, but look at the bend, as you can saw there from Dyla Javosek. And she was trying to curling it towards goal. Under 15 minutes to play here in this first half. It's a scoreless game between the Warriors and the Blue Devils, but Jenny Deere was trying to get things going, and Tartru will able to collect that one nicely. Trying to tend away was Abigail Gray.
No, that was a good setup. The communication was there. Jenny Deere was pointing like, "Hey, I'm gonna get this up to you, or at least best I can." That time was just a little far ahead, but still, it's the good looks and the good opportunities you give to each other as teammates.
Here comes Finneran, and she'll pass it over. Blue Devils get things going now with Abigail Gray at midfield. Gives it over to Jenny Deere. A give and go. Abigail Gray trying to get the burners going along the way. But it was stopped right at the end. But the Blue Devils will still have a throw in here with Dyla Javosek.
Very impressive dribbling right there by Abigail Gray, especially with wet conditions. The ball was definitely ahead, but she was able to quickly take it back control.
Service into the box. Clear it out. Not all of the way. And Isabella Ames will clear that one, but not as Fitterin. Takashima will settle it down. Blue Devils hopefully to get things going with Paget. Paget trying to wait for it. Instead, the Warriors will have a throw-in.
That section of the field right there, it's basically where you try to create that triangle routine in which you go about 3 players max in order to work your way one way and then fake them to go forward towards the net.
Here comes Jenny Deere. Trying to put on the brakes for a moment. Paget. Gives over to Conrad. Now Finneran gets away from a tackle. And now the Warriors will get things going here on the counter attack. And here comes Springer. Springer going for goal, and it's just wide of the frame. Sammy Springer had a nice, good look along the way, but not on target.
That was the best opportunity you could ever get, and that's been the best 1v1 matchup for any opponent thus far for Lawrence Tech against Gabby Nelson. And that shot was wide. It was definitely a lot of open real estate, and maybe she probably took a little too many steps too late to try to put that shot off. She definitely had the open window, could have gone top corner, low corner, had a lot of options. That one just sailed top shelf to the left.
Of course, Sammy Springer leading the Rochester Warriors with 7 goals on the season, along with 1 assist, totaling 15 points. That's a key player that you want to have, especially if you are Rochester along the way.
No, you're looking for players that can definitely put it in efficiently on goal into the back of the net. As we see this one go out of bounds for a throw-in.
It was last touch off of Paget. Throw in here for the Warriors with 11:42 to go. Trying to settle it down, Springer. Springer trying to keep things going. She's defended by Javosek. And we'll get a free kick along the way. Was that a foul along the way? Nope.
No, the official, he let that one go. But that was just great solid defense. She blocked a shot attempt with her leg and then was able to squirt the ball free. And by the time that mid-collision happened, it was incidental contact as they probably got their legs tied up and Springer went down. The official let that one go. So, again, this is the kind of stops we talk about with the defense, and which they made a lot in that last game against Indiana Tech, bailing out their goalkeepers. We see a couple more subs come in.
Yeah, Javosek got the legs tied up with Springer, but hasn't gotten away with it. Right now, the Warriors on the attack right now. And Paget trying to get away from the attack. And Gabby Nelson will comfortably, collectively, able to grab it up here with 10:36 to go here in the first half.
So what Andy Richards has been doing is that within 10-minute increments, he waited till the 20-minute mark to put in 2 subs, and now he's waited to the 10-minute mark to put in 2 more subs, and Andrea Williams and Megan Rumia.
Trying to get things going towards Ferguson. Blue Devils still has the ball right now. Jenny Deere trying to get things going. Advantage being played out. Andrea Williams, who just came onto the game, trying to serve it up ahead, and that's taken away by McCule. But Williams will get it right back. And Isabel Ames will collectively get to it there. Andrea Williams, of course, making her 3rd appearance, or 4th, I should say. Got a goal against University of Cincinnati Clermont back on September the 8th.
And that was the beginning of their shutout streak, a 5-0 win there. And that just, the goals kept coming and the shutouts kept coming with it.
Takashima trying to find Deere, and Tartru able to crack it at the end.
These looks are getting better and better and cleaner, just giving Lawrence Tech the chance to try to put another shot on goal. But again, Naomi Tartru is just shutting those open doors.
And of course, Andrea Williams replacing Deanna Hill. So 2 subs so far here for the Blue Devils. And we're 9:04 to go here before halftime. Here comes Abigail Gray. Gray trying to find an opening. Here comes Williams. And that's intercepted along the way. And it will still be throw in here for Lawrence Tech.
One more sub coming in.
And Dylan Jarosek will will lead the field.
That's Neela Wilson coming in. Wilson, she's made a few starts, and she's also been coming off the bench. Andy Richards has the ability now to really mix up this roster with his starting lineup and also his bench players. He's given everybody a good amount of starts, and yet he will still use everybody at every single chance, whether it's at the 20-minute mark, about halfway through. He's looking for any open opportunities to get a quick score.
Cornelia Wilson got an assist against Indiana Northwest, but right now the Warriors on the attack right now with Shadowski. Serves as a cross, headed out.
Wilson, a good.
I should say. And now the Blue Devils will go on the attack. Here comes Ferguson. Lays it off for Abigail Gray. Trying to attempt a pass again for Ferguson, but that's cleared out by Ames.
That was a tight window try pass by Gray. Just too many Rochester players. He probably should have held up on that pass attempt.
Schringer trying to keep the play on side. And Andrea Williams will settle it down for Lawrence Tech. She goes down to the ground. No foul given.
Referee is to let a lot of contact go for the majority of this one.
7.5 to go here in this first half of play. And here comes an opportunity for the Warriors. But the flag was up for offside.
Yep. Definitely just waiting on the ball. Whenever your back is turned to the opposing goalkeeper and you're waiting on the ball, that offside is going to be called almost every time.
Warriors within these last couple of minutes had some good looks along the way. Ames will settle it down. That's given away. All nicely done. And Abigail Gray will settle it over. Finds Ferguson. Takes a cut. Service into the box. It comes. And nobody there in white to have that shot opportunity.
There was definitely a couple of options, but again, the wet field, it kind of plays a little bit of factor because the ball is just skipping like a rock through a pond, just all the way through and just a little bit too far ahead for anybody to make a play. But still, it was a good look, and it wasn't a shot on goal per se. It was a shot in on a bend on purpose to try to give the opportunity to the teammates ahead. They're already in the box.
All Blue Devils on the attack. Sends it across. Takashima should let that one go. Service into the box, and it's covered up by Tartru.
Yeah, Takashima, she was not able to slow it down because she had probably the best look to put a good solid shot on goal, and then right behind her was Ferguson to put a shot on goal, and that forces another save put on by Tartru. They've been putting the shots on the net. Give them that credit, even on the wettest of conditions.
And it's taken away by Kayla Joyce, but not get things going there. But now here comes the Warriors on the attack, and it's a free kick and a whistle call for the handball.
Yeah, that was definitely close enough, but official was there to see it.
Of course, referee doing a good job getting things under control here, getting some good looks there on the calls as well. As Tartru able to pick it up here. We're down to 5:10 to go here in this first half of play. 0-0 between Rochester and Lawrence Tech.
I think with the wet conditions, it almost makes it a little bit tougher of a judgment call for the official because you probably see a lot of players slipping, especially when they're being pressured from behind by the other players. So it's really a tough judgment call with wet conditions and also with extra pressure.
Finneran will send it all the way back. Blue Devils will go on the attack. Here comes Finneran. And now Courtney Matheson. Nice ball, but instead it goes off to Ames. Andrea Williams was trying to get to it. And now the Warriors will go on the run. Ames will get to it. Ames at midfield. Finding Samantha Johns. Johns now into the final third. Johns will have a go, and Gabby Nelson will cover it up.
Warriors right there. They had 3 potential options along that goal box, but just that dump in was just too far ahead. Nobody even had a chance to make a play on it.
3:55 to go here in this first half. So the Warriors are hoping to do much damage there along the way before this half ends. Whipped on it, and it goes out of play. Throw in for Rochester with 3:33 to go.
I think both these teams going into half, they're going to possibly realize that you're probably not going to get a lot of open chances up in front to try to send it far up for your teammates. You probably got to go to more of a close-knit passing routine in order to work your way inside the box to put a solid shot on goal.
Serve it up ahead. And now here comes the Blue Devils on their run. Ferguson. Trying to get things going. Abigail Gray takes a cut. And trying to find Paget. Service into the box, and nobody home in white. And the Warriors will let that one go for a goal kick.
That was a good bending pass. And again, that's usually when you have somebody already set up on that backside. But again, everybody was kind of lined up in a bow formation, to which you stick on your near side where the ball's at, and then you have extra reinforcements on the backside nearby the opening of the box in case of anything. But the pass was just too far ahead as we get another sub in. Regan Boyle, she's going to replace Abigail Gray to give Gray some time off the remaining 2:15.
Of course, Regan Boyle, of course, got a goal so far here tonight. This is her 8th appearance coming into tonight. Here comes Takashima. Boyle will find Finneran. Williams trying to let that one go, but that's intercepted. Here comes Samantha Johns for Rochester. Cleared up ahead. We're now under 2 minutes to go as Gabby Nelson able to do the honor. She'll let that one go. And goal kick along the way here with 1:36 to go.
I think at this point, with a minute and a half approaching, Nelson's going to take her time with this, and she's going to go person to person. Try to really milk the clock or possibly get one more shot attempt off.
So Regan Boyle will get the throw in here. Of course, last year she appeared 12 games, starting in 3 of them. 3 goals, 3 assists, total of 551 minutes. Ferguson able to keep that one in play. She'll get the throw-in opportunity. And looks like we'll go Rochester's way with 1 minute to go.
Yeah, the original call was Rochester's ball. Ferguson didn't realize and was trying to hurry up. It's very common for these players when they think that they know where the possession's going to try to hurry up on the throw.
Nice give and go. And here comes Takashima for Lawrence Tech, but that's intercepted by Staley. Takashima will cover it up. Instead, here comes Finneran. Here comes Samantha Johns now with 25 minutes to go. Warriors will have one last opportunity before the half. A nice run ahead, and that's cleared out. Down to 12 seconds to go. Ferguson forced one last chance for the Warriors. And Williams nearly slipped along the way. Here comes Regan Boyle. But the time will run out for the first half of play. So any thoughts of this first half of action here?
It's kind of what I predicted a bit. With heavy, wet conditions and the rain coming down early on, it was not going to be that clean of passing, that clean of open shot opportunities, and that's why it's a low count. 2 shots on goal for Lawrence Tech, and that's their only 2 shots total. Rochester has put one close enough shot on the open opportunity, but that went wide to the left. So I think the approach for both these teams is they got to go person to person, tight-knit passing as they work their way down the field, because the open chances that they're going to put themselves in 1v1 deep inside the box are going to be very slim, because that ball is going to be skipping along the turf right into the goalkeeper's hands, in which that's basically been the theme this whole time of this first half.
So we'll back here in about 15 minutes time. So first half comes to a close. It's the Blue Devils nothing and the Rochester Warriors nothing. And we are back here at Blue Devil Stadium where both of these teams are scoreless. As we get ready to prepare for the second half of play, Jan Booker alongside John Snow here with you on the call as the Warriors on the attack, able to clear away by the Blue Devils. Shots 2-1 back in the first half in favor of the Blue Devils. Both of them came in on goal. As you can see, Malia May gets intercepted, but instead she gets called for the foul.
Yeah, it was kind of like an arm entanglement right there, incidental, but the official decided to call the foul on Malia May. That's the first, only the second call foul on Lawrence Tech. Three fouls for Rochester so far.
So right now, the Devils get things going there, but that's intercepted along the way. It's a 50-50 ball. A real battle defensively for the Blue Devils. Trying to get things going on the run. And here comes the Blue Devils on the attack with Kathleen Ferguson. Service into the box. Not out of it yet. Takashima is trying to get a foot onto it. Federer was trying to get there closely. Instead, that's intercepted and it's cleared away.
No, Ferguson, she had a good look and just couldn't get the loft over the defender right there. But she also had Deanna Hill going around to the left. But that shot was blocked off. So a good stop by Rochester on that one.
Of course, we got number 31, Megan Rumia, who just came on to the field. Of course, she graduated from Walled Lake High School on a roll in all 4 years. And she has played every game so far this season, coming into tonight.
No, definitely. She's been a great addition at that forward spot. Been able to learn and adjust as she plays more games because she's definitely had a few opportunities and missed them all, but still she's been able to capitalize and make a difference this time around. So she is definitely more of a reliability for Annie Richards.
And that went through Ferguson. And Tarchu will able to do the honors there for the Warriors. No score here early in the second half. If you just joined us, Jan Booker alongside John Snow here with you on the call here at Blue Devil Stadium on the campus of Lawrence Tech University here in Southfield, Michigan.
In a high competitive contest back and forth, but merely just by battle of possession because of the wet conditions. The rain has been nonstop, and just passing has not been completely clean between both teams. They're trying to go for longer range type shots, in which have just been skidding away due to the wet turf.
Yeah, well, of course, rain has been playing a factor. We said that a few times throughout this broadcast, especially in the first half, that weather, of course, the rain will play a factor for both of these teams throughout this matchup. Ferguson able to get a full on the head, but that cleared out. And it will go in favor of the Warriors here. Just nearly 4 minutes into the second half here. Of course, we want to remind everybody, for those who are tuning in here, of course, Blue Devils are 4-1-2 overall, 1-0 in conference play. Rochester 7-1 and 1-0 in conference play. So you got two of the best teams there. As you can see, here comes Ferguson, opportunity away, but Tarchu able to collect that one.
And Annie Richards is loving that opportunity. They've had that same look now 5 times total in this game, but yet right there, Naomi Tartru is out there to squander it.
Naomi Tartru made 2 saves back in the first half of action. Incredible stuff. Incredible work there so far in the first half for Tartru out of France. Here comes Gabby Nelson, though. She hasn't done much here in the first half, but she knows what she's been capable of.
Oh, no, definitely. Never to take anything away. It's just that when your teammates are able to help you out and bail you out of having to make a save in a certain situation, that's a plus. And if you're a goalkeeper, that's just a plus to have. And that's what the Blue Devils have been able to do the last 2 weeks. It's just been able to help out their own goalkeeper on the defensive side.
Here comes Abigail Gray right at midfield and gets away from one. Gray gets away from another. She gets tripped. No foul called.
Wow. That was a hard trip up, but they were able to make contact with the ball and that takeaway right there.
Madsen was able to boot it away from midfield. And now here comes Deanna Hill over to Jaden Conrad. And now he's giving go. Here comes Neela Wilson for the Blue Devils. Intercepted along the way, but Deanna Hill will get it back for Lawrence Tech. Here comes Warren Akas, who just returning over to the game. Here comes Takashima, who already got assists so far this season. Good combination. Neela Wilson. Service into the box, and Tartru at the near post will collect it.
It's a good shot taken by Wilson. Definitely a good curling bender. And just a good stop right there, because a shot like that in the rain, it's a test, because you want to test the grip and catching abilities of the goalkeepers. But at that time, you just let it come into your stomach, into your sternum, and just collapse it with your arms.
And Deanna Hill able to keep it in play, but it's taken away by Kennedy Frazier. Frazier will get things going here for the Warriors. Look at how much room that she can move there, but that was blocked by Courtney Matheson. Nicely done. But what a run by Kennedy Frazier, the Macomb, or the Rochester, Michigan native, I should say, making a great run throughout the Blue Devils there, and not sure what was going on the Blue Devils side of things.
Well, you run the risk of trying to cut in front, trying to clear the ball out, but you also run the risk of running into the players, which force a penalty. And another great block as we get a corner set up for Rochester. But Kennedy ran through four defenders, and all because she had good distance with her dribbling. If the ball was too far in front, then the Blue Devils would have had an opportunity to try to clear it or take it right back. But the fact that the dribble was so close and she was able to contain it throughout that run, that's what made it so good of a run for all those defenders. And another great block by Matheson. That's the defense we talked about, bailing out Gabby Nelson.
So second quarter kick of the game for Rochester. Here it comes, right at the near post. That was off the line. Well, the Warriors will do the damage right at the way, but instead, Lawrence Tech will have possession off of a throw-in.
That was Neela Wilson right at the post who made that stop. Again, more defenders are helping out their goalkeeper, Gabby Nelson. First it was Matheson setting up the corner, and then it was Wilson in the perfect place to stop that ball from going across the line.
Courtney Matheson will pick it up for the Blue Devils. She'll find Deanna Hill. And now we got a foot race along the way, and now Deanna Hill will spring it through.
It's going to be a throw-in, but that's Malia May on that far
Malia
side.
May.
You'll see that from times. They'll flip-flop Malia May and Deanna Hill from side to side, but still, they're getting that good look. And in a foot race, Malia May was able to stick the arm out, able to give herself some space.
Ferguson will find Neela Wilson. Wilson letting that one go, and Tartru will able to collect it. Tartru so comfortably so far here in this second half of action, getting things covered where she needed to at the most.
No, definitely. It's just all about reading the ball right off the foot, and she's been able to do those reads just great.
Counter attack, and Conrad able to settle it down for the Blue Devils.
Another great defensive stop by their defense players. It's been all about placement. First it was Matheson, then it was Wilson, and that time it was Hannah Paget.
So the question is on everybody's minds here is that can we see the breakthrough goal here in this second half? No goals were scored in the first half, but we're hoping to get a breakthrough goal here in the second half.
Lawrence Tech already has one scoreless draw this year, and that was a week and a half ago against Albion College, another NCAA Division III program. You draw even scoreless against that kind of a program, you have something special going up.
Ferguson from the pass of Takashima, and Ferguson will do the honors here on the far side, trying to work his way around, and Tartru able to collect it.
They had Abigail Gray on the backside there in case of anything. I think that was the intention, and Ferguson's pass was just too far to the right, and therefore an easier play for Tartru.
We're 10 minutes into the second half. No score. Shots now 3-1 in favor of the Blue Devils. 3 of them came in on goal in favor of Lawrence Tech. Gabby Nelson being a little bit pressured, and that's taken away. And here comes an opportunity. Oh, so close for the Warriors.
That's the second time in which they've had an open shot like that, and it's just been sailing. First one was back in the first half, sailed off to the left. That time from outside the box, it just went complete shank to the right. And Nelson, she did feel pressure, so she had to get it off, and that almost backfired.
Nearly did backfiring. We got a throw in here for the Rochester Warriors. And play will continue on here. As you can see, rain kind of slow things down there a little bit. But, you know, as we mentioned, of course, weather does play a factor. Was raining hard, definitely when the game began, but then it's definitely slowed down in the process. Here comes Gabby Nelson, able to grab it away.
That time she was able to read it on the bounce and just able to beat there first. It's all been basically a bunch of races. And it was who's going to get to the spot first to try to get possession.
And that was Sammy Springer trying to get things going ahead. Throw in here for the Blue Devils now. And that's taken away. Springer. And she'll find Shadowski. Headed out by Matheson. And Shadowski, trying to thread the needle there towards Addison McCule, but Gabby Nelson able to get things going here for the Blue Devils.
No, that was definitely a good look. Just the pass was just that far out. And again, like I mentioned at half, this is going to be a passing game from here on out from both sides as that one goes out of bounds off a turnover by Deanna Hill. This is going to be a passing game. You're not going to win it on a long shot opportunity unless the rain does play into a factor then. But now, with the rain as a condition, because it's going to stay consistent, it's not going to stop for a short period.
So here comes Olivia House for Rochester. Of course, 2 assists in the last 2 games. As you can see the rain coming around there. Leo Man goes over to Takashima. Trying to attend the pass for Abigail Gray. Ferguson went past by her. Tartru able to clear it. And here comes Deanna Hill for Lawrence Tech. She'll pass it over to Jaden Conrad. Nearly a giveaway. And it was between Paget and Springer, and now shoulder to shoulder. And now here comes Sammy Springer getting through, and a tackle being made by Hannah Paget. And a free kick coming up, and Springer maybe down and out.
Really, that was leading up to that call right there, because both Springer and Paget, they were going at it back and forth, shoulder hit for shoulder hit, just for possession. And that last one was just a bit too hard. I think Paget should have probably shifted her feet to try to get around to the right side of Springer to try to get in front for a possible block. Lucky enough, no yellow card given. This is only just a free chance given, and now it is given.
Yep. So first yellow card goes to Hannah Paget.
Kind of curious about the delay on the call right there. I think the official was just checking on the conditions on both players first and then making the official call. But this will be a good prime opportunity because you're not forcing yourself deep like a corner opportunity. Now you have a better chance of sending it into the mix of somebody getting a foot on it.
So Rochester will have an opportunity off of a free kick. And Addison McCule will do the honors there. You see some red jerseys being sworn around. Addison McCule, 8 games, now 9. So far this season, will take the free kick. Going towards goal, and it just hit the side of the net, the outside of the net.
She was going for it all right there, trying to do the bender, almost in-swinger style shot, but
instead it will be a corner. It's probably last touch off of a Blue Devil.
it must have been, but it's still maybe a better case scenario.
So this time Kennedy Frazier will take the corner kick, and this will be the third corner kick for the Warriors. Blue Devils have yet to have a corner yet. Here it comes. And Nelson able to get a punch it away, and that's cleared away.
Just another great stop by Gabby Nelson, and it's all off the read. The fact that she's able to read a corner from that far away with so many defenders in front, and then just be able to make a play on it. Not even just like make a grab or make a catch, but just able to punch it out to give it clearing opportunities. We see a couple of subs come in.
Yeah.
But it's just another great read. You read it off foot, and the fact that you act on it before any defenders will, that's when you're really reading it well.
I see Jenny Deere coming back onto the game.
She's going to replace Malia May. And Maya Freeland is back in as well.
Ferguson booted up and goes out of play. Throw in here for the Warriors. We're now 30 minutes to go here before regulation. The question is, can we see a breakthrough goal for either one of these teams?
Rochester has yet to have a draw this year, whether it's scored or unscored. And if this remains to be a draw at the end of it, still a high contested game, and both these teams would not be moving out of placement within the WAC standings.
John Hill will settle it down. Trying to get things going, gives it over to Warnakis. And now Jenny Deere. Jenny Deere serves into the box. And the Warriors will clear it out, but not as far as Warnakis. 50-50 ball. Warnakis will pick it up. And instead she'll give it over to Paget. Liddell trying to get things going, but nicely done by Isabella Ames. Liddell still going. Serve it up ahead. Trying to find Deota Hill. Hill. Gray. Taking the shot, and it goes right at Tartru.
There's definitely some good looks. A tight window shot. And Deanna Hill, she really likes the 1v1 matchup, especially when her back's against to it, because she then tries to quickly maneuver around. And that time she just dumped it off. Gray with another good shot. And it was a good sinking style shot, so it was going to be a lot harder of a save for Tartru.
Wilson from the pass of Takashima, and she'll give it over back to Nelson. Went over the head of Frazier. And will sell out of play. And we'll get another sub here for the Warriors. And also one for the Blue Devils as well. Pajak is coming off. And I see, it looks like number 20, well, no. It looks like Lindsay Ramos.
Check that. That's actually one of the other captains, Dalia Jarosek, coming back in. So she did not start the second half here, as we get a quick throw in. Lawrence Tech on the premise.
And Neely Wilson will do the honors here for Lawrence Tech, deep in their own third. Ball still loose. Ferguson trying to take a shot. And now long range effort from Warnakis, and Tartru will have no interest whatsoever, but instead she will get the goal kick for Rochester.
Yeah, this is almost about the halfway point in which we'll see if Andy Richards goes to more of his bench, probably bring out some of his original starters, or if it goes more deep in.
Trying to head things out. Here comes Deanna Hill, but that's taken away. And now Rochester will get things going here But instead, Dyla Jovosek will clear out of play. Oh, trying to keep it in play. Looks like it was Warrenakis.
This was going to stop the clock. I believe so. No, they have not stopped. And now a yellow card has been issued to the Rochester bench.
Wow.
All these yellow cards have been slowly developing. And that one was right in front of head coach Skipper Mukhtar in his second season. He is only technically the interim head coach for this Rochester team, but again, he's leading this squad to an impressive start, 7-1.
Absolutely. Abigail Gray trying to settle it down, but couldn't do it. Takashima able to get a foot on it. Takashima only got an assist so far this season. Deanna Hill inside the penalty area will let that one go. Corner coming up for Lawrence Tech. This will be their first of this game. 20 minutes, about 20 minutes in to the second half. And it will be Michaela Warrenakis.
Lawrence Tech had 2 goals against Indiana Tech, both of them coming from corners. One was a header shot in by Finneran, the other one was a loose ball put in by Malia May.
Warrenakis will take it off the corner. And Tarchu looks like he got a punch, but the foul is called on Lawrence Tech.
Yeah, a lot of contact in front and a lot of contact with the goalkeeper most of the time. And foul I believe was called on Deanna Hill. Hill was positioned right in front of Tartru, and therefore it was basically an easier call for the official to make.
So goal kick coming out there for Nomi Tartru. And she'll boot it up towards midfield. And Takashima looks like she was ready to go for it, but instead that's taken away by Jenny Deere. And a foul is called on number 19, Kayla Joyce of Rochester. So free kick opportunity here for the Blue Devils. Warrenakis will do the honors. Over 24 minutes left to go here in regulation time. 0-0. Both of these teams have got some chances along the way. At the free kick booted up there towards midfield. And an opportunity being scrambled in front. And we'll get a whistle on the foul.
I think it was a handball actually called because they had Dalia Jarosek in there. And I think it was trying to stop that ball from bouncing up and accidentally got her right on the forearm.
And of course, we got Dalia Jarosek doing the honors there. I want to share with you guys this amazing good work there by Dalia Jarosek before through her LinkedIn. She said, as fall approaches, she reflected on this summer on how pivotal her R&G engineering internship was with Stryker Upper Extremity. The work culture would not only foster her professional and personal development, but it promoted curiosity and curious learning. Over these 12 weeks, she had the privilege of collaborating with such great team of engineers, mentors, and leaders. And with their guidance, she was able to grow with the design of engineering skills in so many areas, including collaboration all across the functional teams and 3D modeling features for advancement on shoulder or opacity implants. The hands-on experience, of course, she was able to participate was also invaluable, and she recognized the surgeons in the fields where she learned from their perspective of implant instruments and techniques necessary for project validation. And of course, with great anticipation, she was so thankful to share that she'll be joining the R&D team in January as a full-time design engineer. So congratulations to Dalia Jarosek on her definitely impressive work that she has done here with the engineering skills that she has developed. And hopefully she'll have some great opportunities in the future in the engineering skills as well.
Oh, no, definitely. And that's why she is one of the 4 captains on this team. Just the fact that her classwork speaks for itself within the workplace, and then the fact that she's able to collaborate and work well, not only with classmates and coworkers, but also with teammates as well. And just to be a servant leader, like a lot of these NAI and WAC programs stand for, the servant leadership.
And now we got a foot race along the way. Abigail Gray can get to this ball. She does, but that was toe poking away. Still Lauren Sack's ball.
Rochester has been bailed out by a couple of penalties called deep within the goal box, especially in the open loose ball plays.
So throw in inside the box. Clear it out. Ferguson trying to work his way through at the edge, getting tangled up. And looks like we're going to get a foul on Kathleen Ferguson.
No, just the entanglement, and then in that scenario right there, the official's going to go for basically the attacker with possession of the ball because the body weight was moving forward and just taking your defender down with you. So it works only one way in that scenario.
So shots now 4-2 in favor of the Blue Devils. That's Gabby Nelson will boot up to midfield. 4 of those shots for the Blue Devils came in on goal. As Deanna Hill will let that one go. It'll be a throw in here for the Blue Devils with over 20 minutes to go in regulation.
Another quick sub in for Lawrence Tech as Bridget Finneran comes back in. She replaces Warren Nuckus. But no, 4 shots on goal, 4 shots total. And that's just making your shots count when they're needed the most. 2 shots for Rochester, and the 2 shots, it makes it count on goal when it's actually within the perimeters of the goal itself. Because the 2 shots, they were wide off and past the far posts. So therefore, they do not count as shots on goal. And if Lawrence Tech was to get a score and hold Rochester where they currently sit, it would be back-to-back games with the defense not allowing their opponents to have a shot on goal. That would be impressive enough. It probably set some records.
Deanna Hill, settle it down. Neela Wilson. Serves up ahead. Who's going to get it? It'll be Tartru.
Again, just another great look. And again, there's Tartru just taking it away. She has done all of that, just reading it. And the Blue Devils attacks, as we see a quick turnover right here by Rochester, just been able to squander the open opportunities.
Fortunate break for the Blue Devils now with 19:16 to go in regulation. Neela Wilson doing the honors off of a throw-in. And here comes Kennedy Frazier for the Blue Devils, but now Dyla Javosek. Cleared out, but not done yet. Here comes Kennedy Frazier for Rochester. And the Warriors hoping to get the counterattack, but it's taken away by Neela Wilson. And McCule was not on the same page. But instead, it'll be a throw in here for number 3, Maya Friedland. The sophomore, her forward from St. Clair, Michigan.
Yeah, St. Clair Shores. That's way on the east side, right there, past the Detroit metro area. And one thing to mention about these clearing shots that just land out of bounds, even though it doesn't play into your way, but that still forces your opponents to make a deeper run to try to get within your own territory. So it may not be smart, but it works out into your favor one way or another.
Here is Finneran finding Takashima. Javosek able to get things going. Nice crossfield pass over to Neela Wilson. Trying to find an opening ahead and trying to attend a pass for Ferguson, but it says Tartru was there.
Ferguson was just a few steps almost there to try to make a stop, or at least try to put some loft underneath that pass. It was a dandy of a good look.
50-50 ball, chats it down. Here comes Deanna Hill on the near side. Finding Neela Wilson. The pass was cut off by Staley. Here is Finneran. Finding Takashima. Here comes Abigail Gray finding Deanna Hill with some space, but the pass was too far out. And it will be a goal kick for Nomi Tartru.
Yeah, that's where the rain plays into effect, because you saw it on the one pass attempt. The ball skidded across without breaking the spin, almost like a knuckler, and therefore that's because of the extra wet conditions. As we get subs in, Megan Rumia back in along with Andrea Williams. This is around the same time frame in which Andy Richards is going to go to his bench to try to get fresh legs out there to try and make a difference.
Of course, Megan Rumia, 2 goals and an assist so far this season, and 2 goals and 1 assist came from against Albia College, and that was on September 15th, which is a few days removed.
No, definitely. In that game against Alma, it was definitely a good turnaround, because they led the game 1-0 into the half, and they missed so many open shots, and it was definitely a turnaround, because then they went on to score 5 goals in that second half to really seal it, another shutout victory, and Megan Rumia gave credit to 2 of them. Rain is definitely starting to pour down a lot more.
Absolutely. Deer will find Javosek on the far side, trying to intend a pass for Ferguson, but that's cut off. Deer will try to get to it for Lawrence Tech. Finneran, service up ahead. Tartru will collect it. 15:30 to go here in regulation time. Both of these teams have yet found the back of the net.
You can definitely almost hear the raindrops coming from behind.
Williams, cut off. Here comes Freeland. It's Joyce. Here's Frazier, trying to get things going here for Rochester. And a pass is tended away, but instead it is Gabby Nelson to collect it.
No, definitely. That was probably their best open-looking shot, but again, just Nelson with the good reads. She's had the good reads for the past 2 weeks. That's one of the many reasons why they had 5 straight shutouts.
Under 15 minutes to go as Rochester still have possession of the ball. Trying to get things going along the way. Staley, get things going for Rochester, but that's taken away. Here comes Abigail Gray, too heavy on the touch. And now Rochester will do the honors.
We're going to get a foul called. That was definitely a harmless foul right there. Could have been avoided. Rumia, she's very aggressive. That's one thing that she has definitely brought to the table since coming to Lawrence Tech, is a lot of aggressiveness, trying to get cut in front to get the possessions. All that may be good, but you got to be conservative. You got to have proper timing, because if the pass is already off, there's no point of trying to hold on to your defender.
So Kennedy Frazier off of a free kick. It goes off of Rumia. But Frazier will get it back, and she will let it go.
One thing that you definitely will notice as you keep watching is that with the heavier rain now, the touches on everybody's dribbles are going further away. So because they're going too strong at it, so therefore it's easy takeaways for both teams.
Rumia pass is intercepted, but Rumia will get it right back for Lawrence Tech, and she'll find Jenny Deer. Deer to Hill, trying some space open on the left side, but too far out. Throw in here for Rochester with 13:06 to play in regulation time.
This is exactly what I was talking about at the half. Those far up dump-in passes are not really going to work efficiently unless you're almost at the same speed of the ball, but the wet turf adds on like about 5 to 10 more miles an hour depending on how hard you kick it up.
So throwing for Rochester with 12:40 to go. Kennedy Frazier will do the honors. Here comes Finneran. Service up ahead. Find Ferguson. Gray trying to settle it down. And it goes out of bounds for a throw-in for Rochester.
Correction, they actually called a foul. They called it on Ferguson. The official said when she went up to knock down the pass, she made hard contact with her defender right behind her. Very, very interesting call and very close call to make, but the official made it, so that's catching a break.
Yeah. Rochester got a break. Tarchu will take the free kick with under 12 to go in regulation time. Here's Finneran. Right at midfield, serve it up to the far side. Trying to get a toe poke it away. Javosek trying to get to the ball. And instead, we'll get a throw in for the Warriors. Of course, Rochester only made one sub, and that was Maya Friedland.
I think for skipper Mukhtar, he's really going to try to rely on his starters a bit and really try to make a difference. Because if that's been their game plan for most of the season, it's really worked out to their favor.
Here comes Rumia. And that's cut off. Throw in for the Blue Devils with 10:47 to go. Can the Blue Devils finally find the back of the net? We'll find out. Gray. Service into the box. Tarchu able to get it right at the near post.
That's been the first leaping stop by any goalkeeper thus far. And second time that Abigail Gray's been able to get some loft underneath that shot attempt, or at least try to put it in front. Because that tests out the grip abilities of the goalkeepers to see if their gloves have been dry or not throughout all this heavy rain.
Here again, a slip. And we'll get a throw in for the Warriors. 10 minutes to go. Can one team find the back of the net? We'll see how this one goes. A good opportunity along the way, and they score! It is Jenna Shatowski on the goal for Rochester, and they have the breakthrough goal with 9:45 to go.
And there goes the shutout streak of Lawrence Tech. And boy, what a shutout streak it was. And it was just that one opportunity, and it was just the great fake put on by Shadowski. She was able to fake the shot attempt, able to make her defender leap by, and then therefore create an even better opening, and then just the shot. You cannot do it any better than that.
And now the Blue Devils will have some line changes of subs along the way. So interesting to see how things are going to go here with 9:43 to go in regulation, as Rochester finally got the breakthrough goal that they needed thanks to Jenna Shadowski. That is her second goal of the season. And let's see how the Blue Devils will go on the attack. But now the Warriors can do whatever it takes to extend the lead. Blue Devils hoping to tie it up. Shadowski, nice ball ahead. And a coverage cleared away. And now Paget able to keep it where she wanted to. Kind of intended over to Deanna Hill. Here comes Kennedy Frazier. Serves up. And Shadowski was trying to keep it onside. So Jenna Shadowski getting the goal in the 81st minute.
No, and for Gabby Nelson, that's the first goal she's given up in now over 400 minutes worth. It was definitely one of the longest stretches. That set a new record for longest shutout streak for any goalkeeper in the history of Lawrence Tech.
Here comes Abigail Gray. Right now, the Blue Devils needs to have a goal to get this one tied up. As Finneran serving up ahead. It's a foot race. McHugh will collect it, and here comes Tartru. Warnakis. Covered up by Ames. Warnakis will get it again. Trying to find Malia May. And we'll get a corner. Second of this game for Lawrence Tech, hoping to tie this one up.
They definitely need to get one right into the mix. They definitely need to get one into some traffic. Needs to be knocked down.
Here it comes. Ball headed out. Hijet will take it here for Lawrence Tech. 7:23 left to go as Tartru able to collect it.
Padgett sends it into the box, and they have a trio of Blue Devil players in there to try and make a play. But again, Tartru, it basically been doing this all game, reading the ball off the foot and just squandering those open shot opportunities.
Hijet on the ball for the Blue Devils, and she'll find Deanna Hill. Hill serves across, cleared out, and the Warriors will have a break, but instead it'll be a throw in here for the Blue Devils now with 6:45 to go. Hijet the throw. Find Ferguson. Ferguson! Shot is wide. Kathleen Ferguson, the transfer out of Schoolcraft College, nearly had one there.
It was a good shot to take because everybody was in motion. Nobody was stationary expecting it. So she did the tight window and just curled off to the left.
Here comes Finneran off the goal kick from Tartru. Jenny Deere. Takashima. Deanna Hill. Get things going, Hill. Jenna across, and Tartru able to collect it at the near post. Right now, the Blue Devils are definitely putting on the heat on with under 6 minutes to go in regulation.
That was a great setup. Just Deanna Hill could not get enough underneath it. She had Abigail Gray on that backside. That's basically a setup for a header shot. If Deanna Hill would have gotten it just a little bit more underneath on the loft, that would have been possibly the equalizer for Lawrence Tech.
Right now, the Rochester on the run, and here comes Shadowski trying to get her second goal of the game, but that's intercepted, and it goes off of Shadowski. And he'll be a throw-in for the Blue Devils. 5:13 to go. Blue Devils need a goal to tie this game up. A goal from Jenna Shadowski is the difference so far for Rochester. Jenny Deere. We'll settle it down. Here comes McCule. And Deanna Hill intercepted on it. And now Deanna Hill trying to make a run. Gets away from a couple of Warriors players. And Blue Devils will have a throw with 4:40 to go.
One thing to definitely mention about this matchup. Lawrence Tech has won the last 6 consecutive matchups against Rochester. And throughout the history between these two programs, Lawrence Tech has 11 wins and Rochester only has 1. This rivalry started back in 2012. And throughout all this time, Lawrence Tech has normally had their way, having 3 to 4, even 5+ goal leads to end the games. But this would be something huge for Rochester if they were to hold on to this lead.
Here comes Finneran. Intercepted. Blocked away, and here comes Jenny Deere. Under 4 to go, but the foul is called. And we'll get a free kick for Rochester.
And they got a handball on that one.
Yep.
Whether it's the rain or whether it's just not being too in sync, Lawrence Tech has definitely had a fair share of giveaways.
Ornakas, nice ball ahead. And here comes Abigail Gray. Gray sending her across. And let's see what we got. It's a goal kick for Rochester. That was off of Abigail Gray.
Gray couldn't believe it. The official originally pointed towards the corner for a corner kick, and then I think it was the on-field referee that reversed the call.
Wow.
And that was out of desperation. Probably their best chance as the clock winds down to 3 minutes.
That is a huge moment right there in this game. A huge break for Rochester. Abigail Gray will get it once again. Gray on the far side. She's defended by McCule. Takashima going for it, and it's wide. 2:35 to go here in regulation.
And again, probably the shots have been not on point. And whether it's because the ball is feeling the effects of the rain and there's just not any good solid contact, the ball slipping off the foot, but still, the shots are missing, not by much, but still by wide enough margins.
So Tarcher will take the goal kick, and it's sailed out of bounds. Throwing for the Warriors now with 2 minutes to go. Jenna Sadowski in the 81st minute proves to be the difference maker. Here comes Finneran. A good sliding tackle along the way, and now the Warriors can go on the attack. Here they come. And chance and a shot and a stop by Nelson, and it's cleared out, but not of it yet. And Nelson, Warriors down, but play continues on, and now Jenny Deere can get things going now. Here comes Abigail Gray, desperation time for the Blue Devils. Gray trying to find, the ball still loose in front, and somehow Malia May nearly had the game-tying goal.
They're going to stop the clock as Tartru is down for a bit. Malia May was past Tartru, and Tartru just gave her all the credit. She was able to keep it in front. It was on a loose play like that in which Malia May had 2 goals in the game against Indiana Tech. But it's fortunate enough that the clock did stop for Lawrence Tech, and they will have the throw-in. They'll have the throw-in once they start back up. But a great stop on the other end by Nelson. And they let play resume after the ball was just loose. Anybody up for it. And now we have the same scramble on the other side.
Blue Devils nearly had the game-tying goal from Malia May, but Tartru was right there.
Another yellow card has been issued to the bench of Rochester.
Oh, wow. And here we go with 1:03 to go. Blue Devils hoping to find one last chance.
They called the foul on Malia May from a little bit of shove from behind, and I think that might do it if Rochester is able to. They're going to take their time with this. And now they're going to stop the clock again. I don't think it ever stopped at all for the moment. So the official just says, let's keep playing.
Yep, let's keep playing indeed. Now down to 33 seconds. Throw in here for the Blue Devils. Can they get one last chance? Time is running out. Paget to Deere. Ball headed out. And it goes out of bounds now with 13 seconds to go. The game winner, so the goal by Jenna Shadowski in the 81st minute proves to be the game winner. As you can see, the flag comes up for offside, but instead this game is over, and the Rochester Warriors coming over to Southfield at Blue Devils Stadium and stun the Lawrence Tech Blue Devils as they get a 1-0 win on the road.
No, this is definitely an upset, and they have every right to celebrate, to hold on to a victory like this in a rainy night. And when the preseason polls came out for the WAC conference, Rochester was picked to finish 9th in the conference. Lawrence Tech was picked to finish 2nd in the conference overall. And this is the first time in a long time, the first time in 7 matches between these two teams in which Rochester has picked up a victory, and only their 2nd ever victory against Lawrence Tech. So now the history record goes to 11-2 between these two teams. So, but give all the credit to Rochester. They had the one opening, and that is Jenna Sadowski. She was patient. She was able to make one defender miss, create a better opening, and created just a beautiful shot on goal. She got over Gabby Nelson. This was going to be a tight finish as the way it started because of the rain and because of the not so crisp passing, going back and forth, battle for possessions. And so Rochester, they basically earned this win.
Absolutely. They did earn the win there, and now they improve to 8-1 overall, 2-0 in conference play. Of course, the Blue Devils are now 4-2-2, 1-1 in WAC conference play. So hopefully we'll see you guys back here in our next home match here at Blue Devil Stadium. So your final score tonight, Rochester 1, Lawrence Tech 0. For all of us here at the LTU Sports Network, for John Snow, I'm Jan Vogler. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you back here in our next home game. Take care, and I hope you have a good night.